Banger, bro. Today was an absolute banger, bro. We started off kind of cheat. The, Let me just go. So this is the trade recap. I lost two trades. I lost two trades, won one trade. So these two trades. The only reason I took these two trades was because this guy gave some alerts that YM had like SMT, and I don't really use SMTs with YM, but I decided to trust it, and I got wrecked twice. So yeah, that's the reason I lost those two trades. And the last trade I took, if I just pull up my Discord, I can show proof of. So as you can see, it was a 15 hour trade. The one trade I won, and yeah, I said first loss. This was technically break even, but I didn't want to go break even because we just tapped into another 15-minute fair value gap, and indeed I wanted my trade to have room to breathe. So I accepted that loss. But this loss, look, we had the SMTs everywhere, and this was my break even spot. Good momentum, sharp down, and I said should probably wait for that high to be set first. The high I was talking about was, I'll just show it real quick. So the high, and yeah, I stopped out early because yeah, I've been in this shit for 2 hours 20 minutes. I'm not trying to like see price go up here, tap into a 15-minute fair value gap and go lower. Like nah, like when we're this close, nah. I'm not risking. Like let me see. Like I know it's gonna hit, but if it doesn't, I'm not risking 70 points, you know. So yeah, I'm out. I'm fully out of my positions. And yeah, what the hell is that candle? Yeah, it's good I got out, but my first TP was here, second TP was here. As you can see, it's labeled. Um, there's a time I would have been stopped out here because we did hit break even spot, which was here, but I wanted my trade to breathe, and I entered here. I entered here. So I wanted my trade to breathe. So I did enter early because this kind of closed, kind of wacky, but it had momentum. So I did enter early, and then yeah, price went up. I was in Jordan a bit, and then we went down, like I wanted price to do. So yeah, this might very well just come up here, tap into an unmitigated fair value gap, and then go lower. But I don't really care about that. Let me show you the reason I took that trade. So I just showed the reason I took those two trades, and the reason for that context was this fair value gap. We're overall bearish, as you can see. Trend is bearish. We stepped, I can show. We stepped this low. We stepped this low, as you can see. So, and we tapped into a fair value gap here, which is bullish. I'm just gonna remove that to save time. So what do you know what price does? Price goes from IRL to ERL and ERL to IRL, right? So we swept a low, which is external. Then we hit internal. Where next? We're going external. Where's the next external low? External liquidity is yesterday's high, and where's yesterday's high paired up with? Fair value gap. So if we go from ERL to IRL, then that means we're going from this ERL to we're going from this ERL. Where is it? This ERL? I don't even know. Where is it? Let me find it real quick. We're going from this ERL to this IRL, and then to this ERL, and then this IRL. So if we're bearish, we'll go from even if you don't even need to look that far. We swept this low. So external, internal. So where next after we tap into internal, external? So where's my next? Where do I think price is gonna go next? Probably today's low. Probably today's low. No, I don't think it will come here, but maybe today's low, and like expand maybe into this body or something like that. But yeah, the reason I took that trade was because we entered this fair value gap and we showed that we wanted to go lower, judging by the momentum we were given. If I can just show, we barcode PA came down in versus 1 minute, and I was ready to risk the 1 minute because this looked like a clear sell model. Look at this. When have you ever seen something like this, bro? This is the buy side of the curve. I'll just put the curve. Okay. What in the world is this curve? So this is the buy side of the curve. We came, accumulated, manipulated, expanded, came down, accumulated, manipulated, expanded, accumulated, manipulated, expanded, came here, accumulated, we manipulated into that daily fair value gap, and we showed SMT. Yes, in the CFD version we tapped into the fair value gap. In the real-time data one we didn't tap into it, but I'll just use this as an example. So we tapped into, we accumulated, manipulated, as you can see, we manipulated the highs, which is into the fair value gap, and immediately went lower, indicating that this is a protected high. So once we know that's a protected high, we want this to stay open. So we want us to stay open, we want also this to stay open, and we also want the next high, which is this high, to stay open. And once we know that this are gonna stay open, we need to look for an entry. So even if you didn't take this 1 minute, you could wait for price to come down, show bearish signature, and we did have a 3-minute inverse down here, which even if you didn't take the one I took, this would have still been like let's see 300 point move. The move I took was like 800 points, 600, like it was 500 points. Yeah, so these candles were high momentum, but yeah, that's how you like. And it's like Doji says, you have to understand liquidity first. No strategy works without understanding liquidity. I was in a Discord and guys were saying, oh, what about this 1 minute long? What about this 1 minute long? Oh, it failed. So what about this 1 minute long? Oh, it technically worked out, but this will have been such bad RR. I mean, technically it's good RR. Never mind, it's not good RR at all. So yeah, guys are saying, oh, what about this 1 minute long? Oh, what about this 2 minute long? And it's like, you have to understand, we pumped like, let me just see. You have to understand, we pumped like, let me see, we pumped almost like 600 points during New York time and before New York time, just to mitigate this fair value gap on top so that we can trade lower. Why would you see price trading lower after reacting off this fair value gap, after expanding this much? Why would you think price would go higher? You know, it's just not logical. That's why, like, I used to have this problem when I started trading before. I would see a fair value gap, I'd see, oh, we're reacting off this fair value gap, we're stuck liquidity, when like everything was pointing to the right, where we're going higher. But if you really pay close attention to liquidity and where liquidity actually lies, you'll realize that your strategy is nothing without knowing the direction of the market. I can see a long over here which is following every single thing about my strategy. As long as it's not according to liquidity, if I know that there's such a low probability that price will come and sweep this high, even if we're gonna go lower, then why would I take a long when I know that, you know? So yeah, even if we don't get this, no, we obviously will get this low top hit, and if we don't get that low hit, then that's just unfortunate. But I'm not gonna say here and, oh, it's gonna get hit, it has to get hit. Like, it doesn't have to get hit, but it's so likely that it'll get hit because there's so many orders here that, okay, what the hell, man? There's so many orders here to push price lower. So okay, bro, so let me just see. So it looks like we chopped around, so probably gonna leave this 15 minutes fair value gap. We're not going to trade any higher. We're going to leave this 15-minute fair value gap, tap into it, and then go lower. And that's what I didn't want to happen, because I wanted price to immediately go lower. But it seems like we're going to chop around here a bit and then go lower. But yeah, that's the trade I took. Really good day, honestly. If it wasn't for those 2 losses, I'd be up like $300. So yeah, tomorrow might not be good, so I'm not gonna try and force any trades. Wait for CPI, PPI, and have a good rest of the week.